All right.
All right, everybody, welcome to Symbiosis Weekend. And today we are going to meet the artist Syuhada. Yay! She's from Malaysia. She lives in KL. And Syuhada was being mentored by Eleanor together with Talks and Elif. So, Syuhada, I'm going to spotlight you and then let's go.
Okay, so everybody can see the slide, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for taking this time, spending your time, your precious time on the weekends with me, listening to my journey. I truly appreciate it, the support. But of course, before we dive into the artwork and the progress, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dorothy for, of course, inviting me through this journey because I feel that Dorothy, with your these brilliant ideas, your dedications to make it happen, your vision, which is like wow, had so much profound impact on me, not just as an artist but as a person. And the way you educate this, I still cannot like brain or how you can actually pick the people and then build them in the group and it and all of it works so harmoniously together. It's amazing. Yeah. And of course, throughout this journey, also because of the Art of Letters mentoring program, I found the new me, the one that like more on how to say exploring new stuff, new idea, new perspective, new dimensions. So yeah, for that, really, really appreciate. And of course, not to forget for Judith and Nicole for assisting Dorothy in a way to make everything run smoothly, because together you guys have made this mentoring program Symbiosis an unforgettable experience for I think most of us. Yeah, so thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So, and of course, I'm not sure whether my husband will be here because he was out. But anyway, if he's gonna watch recording later, I want to actually thank him a lot because he gave me a space, a time, all I need, to allow me to express my art throughout for the 8 to 9 months, and to my kids who okay to take out any simple dinner or lunch or take out throughout the journey when I have no time. So yeah, thank you to the kids. And whew, all right, so let me go through the next slide. Oh no, it's not working. Okay. And of course, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't, go through this far without my fabulous, fabulous team. So to Eleanor Winters, thank you so much for your kindness, your support, your guidance um, throughout this journey. It's really giving me a confidence on exploring because you will never say no. And I keep like doing this, experiment this, doing it with brush, doing it with sponge, everything that I want to experiment. You are just like, you're okay with it, and then you add like, okay, how I need to do, to improve my work and stuff. So it's it's really giving me a confidence to experiment, as much as I want. And of course, to my dear, teammates, Stocks and Alif, for unwavering support. And most of it is for believing in me, because most of the time I don't feel I do enough or good enough. And then they will always think otherwise. They will say, no, you have a artwork that you presented last week that can last for like three months. So so yes, thank you for that. And throughout this journey, it's really inspired me to grow. And I don't know. I'm so blessed at this moment. I'm very, 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 very thankful. So yes. All right. So here we go. So this is me. My name is Syuhada Jaafar. Or some of you might know me as my Instagram handle by Hand Arts. Born and raised in Malaysia, neighboring to Singapore, to Dorothy. I'm a proud mom of these two wonderful, wonderful sons, Ryan and Aiden. my eldest is Ryan, 7, and youngest is Aiden, which is 2. Yeah, going to be 3 next February. Like I think like the rest of my teammates, I'm the same. I don't have any art background. Don't have any art experience. I just started calligraphy as an art for the first time. So I actually an accounting degree graduate, and I worked as account executive for about 10 or 11 years. Then, because of calligraphy, 2021, I decided to take a leap of faith, uh, being account executive to a full-time calligraphy artist and instructor. So yes, so what do I do as full-time calligrapher is I mostly conduct a calligraphy workshop. I teach copper plate calligraphy beginners, intermediate, and sometimes flourishing. Um, and apart from that, I actually collaborate with brands to do live or on-site event, calligraphy, engraving, or sometimes water painting. So these are my artwork throughout, 2-3 years, doing engraving, painting, and calligraphy. For the activations, for the roadshow, or even for the uh, product launch. Okay, so my journey, actually, my calligraphy journey started 8 years ago. In March 2016, I started, taking classes during my career break in 2016, because at the time I was preparing for my IELTS exam. And because my husband and I were planning to migrate to Australia, then something happened. We ended up staying in Malaysia. We could have been neighbors, though. So yes, I started to take watercolor class, and then one of it is the traditional calligraphy. Initially, the reason or the plan, like why I sit for this traditional calligraphy, is to improve my handwriting, because I create greeting cards for family, friends, just for fun. So usually the insert, I relies on printer version. So I thought if I could, handwrite it, it would be more personalized, more special. So yeah, that's why I end up do traditional calligraphy. So yeah, this is my 2016 work. My first during the workshop, and then the one, I think probably the second picture is in December. It was at that time, it feels like wow. Now that when I look back, a lot of terrible strokes happening, but yeah, that's how we all started. Yes. Okay, from that one workshop, neither did I know, I get obsessed with calligraphy. I couldn't live a day without calligraphy. I carry holder, ink nibs everywhere. I couldn't even go out from the house without that. I have one in my bag. So how obsessed I am when I have the trip to Korea 2018, 2019. Whenever I go, I stop to write the place that I went, and then like took photo of it. And one most crazy part in 2018, where I actually went to visit a park in Korea. I never knew it was we had to climb, we had to hike. Uh, it was it was a surprise that we had to hike, because hiking is not my thing. So the moment I reached on top, I was sweating, panting. But the determinations, I want to do calligraphy. I saw a bench right the moment I reached the top. I'm like, that will be my table. So I stopped, took out my tools and everything. And now you can see on the third photos, me sweating, my hair is everywhere. But my calligraphy is, for me at that point, was shaking, writing, but still on point. So that's the obsessions I have. Okay, so also by the year of 2018, I already started to teach a workshop at the local store, Calligraphy. So for me at that time, my goal is to improve the knowledge so that I can share with my participants or students during the workshop. So of course, like many others, Mastering Copper Plate Calligraphy by Eleanor Winter is a go-to textbook. Like everyone must have it. It's a very clear textbook that help you to recognize which G to go, which B to go, why we cannot do the exemplar 1 or 2 or 3. So yeah, it really helped a lot. And the universe works so wonderfully for me because I was so fortunate to actually met my mentor. At that time, I never knew that she became my mentor. So in September 2018, Eleanor had this Asian tour to Malaysia. So I attended her, I think at that time was intermediate copper plate calligraphy. So yes, at my friend's place, Ines Calligraphy Studio. So yeah, that was me, 2018. I look so young and happy. Thanks to calligraphy. And years later, 2019 August, another grateful things that happened to me. I met Dorothy in person. She brought Nina Tran to Malaysia, along with Susian, to teach workshop. So at that time is to all these things that happen, it's just about, yeah, I need to learn more about improving my knowledge in copper plate, because I need to teach, so I need to deliver the correct message, the correct technique. And 2018, Eleanor Winter came, and then 2019, Dorothy came, and then saw my book, my practice book, and give me comments and stuff so that I can improve, which is amazing. I mean, till this day, I really, really grateful for all the opportunity that I have along the way. It's like universe, like, yeah, sure, like just go do calligraphy. Just do it. Okay. Whew, okay. And all right. And 2020 happens. COVID. Nina's supposed to come back for another workshop, but can't. But I mean, it's a bad thing that COVID happened to all of us. But the other side of the world, I think, Todd said that yesterday, that we discover online classes. It's amazing. So it's not. I don't have to travel or wait anymore to go for calligraphy classes. I can just do them online. So 2020 to 2023 is the discovery of online classes. So I set to many calligraphy classes, not just pointed pen calligraphy. I started to take gutter size, fractal, name it. Unsure. I have so many. Like, look at my wall. These are the letters or the scripts that I have been doing throughout the year, exploring through online classes. And yesterday, as I was doing this slide, I found that in 2020, when Dorothy first joined the Art of Letter, she actually asked me to contribute artwork, which surprisingly, I can't even remember that I have this artwork since until yesterday. I was like, trying to see old photos so that I can put in the photos. And then I'm like, oh God, this is from the first art exhibition. Like, wow, like, what am I thinking? But yeah, that's the second photo here is for the Art of Letters. So it's an achievement that I forgot. So, but anyway, so yes, and also throughout 2023, I think last year, I actually produced the fresh, newly versions of my self-published beginners to copper plate practice book that I sell at two local art store in Malaysia, which is Stickerific and Ziply. Last time I used to self-publish probably 50 units. So for that 2023, I actually produced 200 units for the first time. It's a huge amount for me, and also a huge achievement for me. All right. And along the way, I sat for David Grimes' Dreaming in Script School. I graduate with the Certified of Merit in French Roundhand Script and also Engrosser Script. So yes. And yeah, and not only just calligraphy, I start to do like, typography as well. And then one of it is the Newland script that I learned. So yeah, don't be afraid to make mistake. Says the code. All right, so here I am in 2024. I'm so honored to be one of the featured artists for the mentoring program. And whew, it's a lot. It's really, really a lot of achievement throughout the years. Whew. Okay, so let me see where I am. I'm so sorry, I'm so nervous right now. Okay.
You're doing great.
What are you nervous about? Come on now.
I have no idea.
It's just us.
Okay,
It's
so
us.
here I am. Here's the 5 artwork I submitted.
Very nice.
Georgie asked for 3, I submitted 5. Here are the 5 artwork I submitted for the exhibition. A series of nature and resilience. Each piece have drawn, from the inspiration mainly from nature, and the quote behind that I choose for each artwork actually represent the moment or the experience I have along the way. At that very moment, I feel this, and then this is the quote that related. All right, and it's really reflects everything from the first nature to the resilience, that the story behind it. Right, so there you go. Here's my harmony beneath chaos. Nature whisper in the language of chaos, but beneath the surface, harmony thrive. This actually very special artwork for me. The very first, the very first artwork that I finished, that I completed, and also the very first that I felt that yes, this is the one that I have pictures that I want to combine or blend the abstract art with the copper plate calligraphy. And so when I did this, I was so relieved that I have one first complete artwork. And the story behind this nature of chaos is here's the story is, when I first, at the beginning stage, I actually have no idea what I want to do. I still remember on the first meeting that we had together with Dorothy for the the art of letter mentoring, is Dorothy was saying that, oh, Shu kind of like don't really want to do calligraphy-ish at that time, because yes, I'm disappointed with my stroke most of the time, that made me feels like I don't want to do calligraphy at the time. But I say yes for the mentoring. How Yes, and she mentioned to the group that I was exploring abstract art, and then Eleanor was like, "Oh, that could be your approach." So I would just took it. Okay, Dorothy say do this, and Eleanor say, "Okay, it's a good approach." So I just took it, the idea, and just go with it. So I'm exploring color, and it was disaster. You can see the tree. Oh my God. The first 3 photos on the left, it was, I don't know what I'm doing. I tried the apps, color swatching app, try to just, by, feeling, draw, mixing the colors, but nothing click, nothing feel authentic, nothing feels that there's a story behind it. It's just empty. So that is when, before my third meeting, I went to Fraser Hill. That's the beginning. So I went for Fraser Hill for a short trip with my family and my mother-in-law. And thank God that my mother-in-law follows, so that I have time for myself to pay. So at that time, I woke up early in the morning. I see the view at the balcony. It was so breathtaking. The colors is the blue is like really, really blue with the white. It's like inspiration. At that time, I just took my palette knife and acrylic that I bring, and was just scrapping it. And then it works. It's like like, oh, this is very nice combinations. And if you can see in the first photo, this is actually the first painting that I did, right? When I look at the scenery, there's a sky, it's a blue. It doesn't have to be so like as how you see it, but how you feel it. So just like scrap it, and then the color combination should very well. So that's how it started. And then the second artwork I do is the one that with the word hello. Is actually inspired by the ladybug that my youngest found. He was so excited seeing that ladybug at the time. He just got to learn how to walk, and then he's discovering nature, walk everywhere. It was, to be honest, the view in front of me is very, very pleasing, very nice, breathtaking, serene view. But behind, my kid is like, oh, mommy, look, this is very chaotic, very noisy. But yeah, that's where you got the quote for this, that nature whisper in the language of chaos, but beneath is the surface, the harmony thrive, like me and my kids together. It's blending. Okay. And yes, so this is also the very first artwork that I created. And apart from seeing paint or take the color from what I see, I start to imagine, probably, okay, if I want to remembering the beach or the sea, what are the color combinations also playing. And yeah, thanks to Talk, with his geometric grid 2D and 3D, I created this beautiful ocean artwork that I still have and I still keep. This is for dogs because it's truly it's truly the inspirations, the idea come from my mentor, from my teammates, that make me like, okay, just create, just do it, really. So yeah, from that I slowly become good with the color combinations. I improved so much. And this is the transitions from the first artwork. From February 24, I was blending it, and in June 24 I tried to play with acrylic with water. So I have this beautiful piece that I didn't go through with this, but I'm still loving it. And then October 24 is where I go back to the palette knife skills and color, and then try to put the copper plate calligraphy in it, because I want something that the painting to be in abstract art, but the lettering, I want it to be in the traditional script. I know that sometimes the abstract art that you see outside, it's more like expressive calligraphy, but I love that. There's nothing wrong, of course, but I just want this, because copper plate is my first love. I started with copper plate. And it's actually the strongest script that I have in me for the past 8 years. So doing it, putting it together in the final piece feels like, oh, I did it. So yeah, that was it. Whew. All right. Okay, and aside from that painting, I managed to paint, I think this is what Eleanor mentioned about the fine art. The view of sunset that I view from the balcony at Fraser Hill. I go Fraser Hill like I have no idea how many times, but it has been giving me the inspiration. So yeah, this is the sunset that I paint out of it. I would never able to do this probably months ago, a year ago. But because you feel happy, your people cheer for you, you feel no fear to experiment, you just do it. So the outcome is very, very surprising. So I really, really love this space. Although there's nothing calligraphy on it, but yeah, that's the proof of my progress and growth through this mentoring program. All right, so here you go. So artwork number 2 is the nature bloom. Nature blooms in the color that speak the language of the soul. All right. At this very moment, I know there's some point I'm tired of, playing with the colors. I start to discover doing the calligraphy in using non-traditional tools, which is the sponge. I use sponge to do the bold word nature, And I remember how my teammate loved this concept at that time. And I really, really loved the first one that I discovered in June 2024. It's just that because it's a draft piece and it's, it's dirty, I cannot present this as a final artwork. So I thought I want to recreate this. But along the way, I couldn't find the matching. It doesn't come out as how I want it to be, like in the draft. So it started to come out different texture because different combination and style, which I still discovering. So I decided to, sit down. I remember it was very, very late night. I think 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So looking at it after the meeting, because my mentors and teammate were saying that, yeah, you can go with this concept as your final piece. But I don't like the fact that it doesn't come out as a draft. It's very frustrating. So I was sitting there at night, in the middle of the night, and then I was playing with pastel stick. Yeah, you can see the video there is me, instead of using canvas, I changed to using watercolor texture paper, cold press, very, very big one. And it was black, and it's so uninspired. Like, it looked so boring at that time because it was just white background and black ink. I used Sumi ink for that. And the texture, I don't know, it's just not complete. It doesn't feel complete, although the texture is there, but it just don't feel clean. And then I start to, putting I just simply drawing the patterns on it. And there you got the second piece, which is nature blooms in color that speak the language of the soul. Somehow when I want to go black and white, the colors still come back, and it's actually like, speaking to you. And it come out with a very, very cheerful artwork for this one. It's raw and it's very cheerful. Okay, worth the experimenting. All right. Then come to the third artwork, Tangled Grace. In the tangled line of nature, beauty find its ways, always. All right. So I started exploring, combining calligraphy with the abstract painting. Sometimes I want it as a cutting, so I started actually cutting. At that time, I do in Newland script, but it doesn't really turn out as good as polished. Try too many way. I think you can see on the third, on the left is the early stage that I discover. Oh yeah, I do start with the paper cutting. I think all this thanks to Alif, because seeing Alif every week with her paper cutting skill with a mock-up, like 10 mock-up, 70 mock-up, it's crazy. So you're like, yeah, I want to do paper cutting too. But along the way, I actually dropped this idea, not until the very, very end, when Alif was struggling to finish his artwork, to finish her artwork at that time. I still remember the tears and the cutting. We were texting at Instagram, and I just want to feel how I just want to be at that moment, feel the struggle too. So I started the paper cutting for the word nature. So to make my life more difficult, instead of just do the Newland version, I do the one stroke letters from Yukimi Anand class, where I mix up the words and then really mix onto it. And then so when you want to cut it, it's a challenge. So I can feel it. I can feel Elif tears. But of course, not as good as her, of course, because I just do only one artwork out of paper cutting. She's do everything. It's amazing. So yeah, this artwork really inspired by Alif, and the word that that I picked this quote of this is, instead of using the nature does not hurry yet everything accomplished, it's more like in the tangled line of beauty, nature find its ways. Like you can see artwork from Alif. It's like all the cutting, and then you put it together, the paper cutting. It's just blowing away. So yeah, this is more of me remembering Alif at that time. So yes, right. So that is my third artwork. Here goes my final artwork. Supposedly, I don't have number 5, but yeah, that would be story with it. The fourth artwork is Wholeness of the Earth. This is actually okay. The story behind this wholeness of the artwork is because after so many months, cluttering so many things, collecting all the draft that you don't like it, and I need space, empty space to think what I want to do for as my final art. So I start to clear my work. As my clearing, I want to throw the things that, nah, this one not going to do the final artwork. I want to really dispose it. And then at that time, I remember we have meeting in the evening. I'm a very last minute queen myself. I go through Pinterest. I saw this patching. I can see this one from Pinterest. This idea of collage cutting, and I look at my rubbish at the time, collective of draft at that time, because it is nice at certain part, but not as a whole. So I thought to cut it, and that's when the first time I got the word later end. That was just to show that I have artwork presented during that meeting, because I didn't do anything for that meeting. So I'm like, okay, let's do this N. I didn't even finish the word A to U, R, and E. I just do the N, and then you can see a little bit of nature flourishing at the bottom of the N. And I do it in A4 just to say that, yeah, I did something. Dinner that I know is actually end up building to the fourth artwork. Okay, so it's really, and then the quote really that I find it's very, very click is, nature reveal beauty in fragment through all the pieces, though it doesn't look nice as one, but as a whole, it's nice. Yet within every pieces lies the wholeness of the earth. It's beautiful together. So yeah, the idea was at first to do the flat artwork, the first idea, where I do the collage and then put it together as a first idea and do it in nature word. But I don't like the layout. I don't feel, I don't know. I just don't like the concept. And then I leave uh, recommend me to do in the accordion book. So I tried to do it, but because the message that I want to put, the code that I want to put it's too long. It doesn't fit in my accordion book, and I have no more time to do another accordion book. So I shift the idea instead of just do in, because at first the nature in all the collage is in the fragment. The fragment word is the big word for me. And then when everything goes wrong, the accordion word is too tiny for the whole message. And then I see the word earth, then I'm like, oh, maybe I can collage it together as a round to, and put it how the earth, the ground, the grass, and then the sky. So that's where you got the fourth artwork, the wholeness of the earth. So yes, that's a story. And comes to the last artwork, which is the resilience turns trial into triumphs. This is thanks to Todd, because Todd really encouraged me for this, because it was, I think, 2 days before the submissions that we had to submit our work to Dorothy. And at that time, I was still on my fourth artwork, because I was still doubting, should I go with copperplate writing or should I go with my French round handwriting for the lettering. And of course, Eleanor was saying that, yeah, it's nice to do copperplate because it's blend with all the artwork. It's like a series. And then I'm like, oh, but I didn't do enough of calligraphy. I only do copperplate all the way. So I thought like maybe I could do French round hand. And then Todd also agreed to do to say that, yeah, let's just go with French roundhand. And then he added, say, oh, probably just go with copperplate because it's, you know, faster. So then you have time to create another wonderful artwork. So the last one, the resilience turns trial, is thanks to Talk. At that October, it's during the Inktober, I started to play, you know, preparing for my workshop, text to texture, that I start to write with balsamic wood. Um, and I actually created this green one that I wanted to have it combo with the Tangle Grace, you know, like in pair, because this art piece doesn't have any space to write, but I still, you know, that's why I have a word nature pasting onto these you know, strokes. And because Todd says that, yeah, go and create another one. So yeah, why not? Like, I redo the stroke with, you know, the, because I like the combinations of this orange, orange, black, and the molding paste as the white color. I created the last artwork. And the word is, I choose resilience turns trial into triumphs, is really is like, you know, throughout the stress that 2 days before we need to submit to Dorothy with all the artwork, and I still just, you know, just do it, just go ahead, do another one. And true enough, it turns into triumph. I really like, and I managed to document or video myself writing on the canvas, which I actually done from the first artwork that I forgot to document, because I do some live video throughout the program, and then people are kind of like interested, like how we do pointer pen on canvas, because canvas is not you know, it's have the texture space, it's very hard to write on, but I think I managed to write it decently. And yes, on the fifth artwork, I managed to record myself writing it. I'm like, this is the process. I go over it again. I choose the you know, the acrylic paints to use. It wasn't hard, but it's doable. Your determination, your resilience turns trial into triumph. So yes, that is the story behind, you know, all my artwork. So comes to the last slide, um, which is my takeaway from all the artwork. Okay, let me check the time. Oh, I have time. Okay, so my takeaway from this artwork, okay, reflecting on this journey, I realized that I've grown so much, not just an artist, but as a person. I learned to be kinder to myself. Um, I learned to embrace the imperfection, accepting my own pace. I guess everybody, you know, feel the same. And I recognize that if I can do that at that moment, that's much power I have. It's although my head was saying that that's not good enough, that's not enough, it's okay not to be so not to be so disappointed with it. Just accept it and trust that along the way, throughout all your attempts, your trials will always build you towards the greater and better. So like, don't stop, because the older me will definitely feels that if it's harder, if it's troublesome, why bother? But the new me is, it's okay. You don't do good this round, there's always next round. So just keep doing, because for the past 8 years being a calligrapher, I hardly produce finer pieces compared to my early years, when my calligraphy wasn't good. Because the more I learned about the technique and stuff, I start to criticize very harsh to myself, until to the point that I don't like my calligraphy at all. I don't like my writing at all. So yeah, through this journey, through the support that I have from my mentor and my teammates, yeah, be kinder to ourselves. Embrace that imperfections and our pace. Accept it ourselves. Okay. And of course, through the journey, I have so much fun. I'm experimenting all the idea I want to. The only things that I haven't do is the sewing part, which is the Rosanna do. Because I have no time, but it's okay. There'll be always next time. So, but all the idea that last time when I looked through Pinterest, I was like, oh, it'd be nice if I do this, it'd be nice to do, but it was just an idea. But to really do it, you were like, no, for what? That kind of feeling. But because these programs allow me to like, yes, I have a finer pieces to do. I need to experiment to get to the end. So I have fun, so much fun. And I have this just do it and enjoy the process attitude, which is really helped me to grow. Because by experimenting, that's the best teacher for you for self-learning. So yeah, that's where also your creativity thrive, you know. And above of all, I deeply grateful for the incredible people and community, to have the right community, the correct people, the correct community along the way, which keep inspiring me to be better, to just really just do it. Because sometimes if you take I don't want to take this as an example, but I think I need to say this because sometimes when I do some stroke that is hard, like the flourishing that I think I score, then I show that to my husband. He is nice, he's nice, it's just that calligraphy is not his thing. Sometimes he couldn't even read. For him it's not legible, we all the flourishing he couldn't. So he like, okay, nice, good. That's all his comment, but you were hoping that, oh, that's a very good, that's a wonderful, how do you do it, that kind of thing. But it's just not his world. So by having you to do this calligraphy along the way with the people that had shared same passion as you, the community that always supporting you, wanting you to see you success, to see you do more. Yeah, thank you, Erdi. That actually is a crucial elements to the growth. I think for myself, I think for everybody as well in this community. So yeah, for something that I'm really, really thankful, grateful. So yes, with that, I end my presentation. Thank you for allowing me to share this experience. I hope you inspired by the story behind all the artworks, and let us all continue to create, grow, and celebrate the beauty of the process together. Love.
Yay!
Yay.
Thank you,
Oh my
Syuhada.
God.
You did it. You finished.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay.
Wonderful. Yay. Yay to Syuhada. Good job.
I wanted to cry. I finished. Yes.
Yes, you finished. Don't cry, don't cry. Wait, you did good. How come I cannot see everybody? Okay, wait, hang on.
Okay.
Let me just
I
put,
should stop
let me,
sharing.
yeah, you can stop sharing. Let me put your team on. Um, and Eleanor, of course. So I'm very, very happy for you, Syuhada, because of course we are friends, right? We've known each other for so long, and actually, I felt that you came to a point where in your calligraphy you've hit a plateau because you improve. You took courses, and then you got to the point where you have done it all. You calligraph on leather, on bags, on shoes, on glass, you engrave. You've just done everything. And then when you started to venture into acrylics and abstract, I felt like there was something in you that wants to come out. You want to create for yourself, you want to be an artist. And I thought that, okay, wow, this is the perfect profile for Symbiosis, for a mentee, somebody who is on the brink of, you just need somebody to like push you over, and then over the edge you will go into a creative process. And it is still very early in the day. I mean, but when you show us just now the progress, right, from how you began and then towards the end, the pieces that develop, I feel like, wow, there is a process of growth and there is a confidence in your strokes. When you apply the color, your strokes are confident, and it's not like tentative. So I feel very, very, I'm so excited for you. And my question to you actually is, what is next?
What is
Right, Eleanor, right? What's next, right? Because it's the beginning, it's not the end. What's gonna happen after this?
I think next for my group is take a little break, take a few days, right? And just have a good time. Everybody was working frantically toward the end. So we'll talk about next in a couple of weeks. Okay?
But we do have plan. We do have plan.
Oh yeah,
As
that's
a
nice.
group, as the group,
Yes.
each of
Wonderful.
us, which I'm very excited.
That's good. Yeah. So don't let this be the conclusion, lah. Like, oh yeah, I've
No.
done this. But I
This is the
think that
this is the
it's too
beginning,
early. Yeah.
not the end. Beginning,
Yeah. And I think.
right, Elise?
Absolutely. I have a different 5 piece for this symbiosis, but I couldn't finish. I will absolutely make them because I bought I bought a special pepper for that. I don't waste them. I will finish them. And absolutely, I want to rest, but I forgot to how I can rest because I forgot how can I rest. No, no, I feel always produce something, and I love this thing. Yeah.
Beautiful. In fact, I think Judith was not able to sleep until 6 this morning because she was so inspired. She was producing and producing, she could not
Oh,
sleep. Her
Did
mind
2 or
was
3
Oh, we've got
pieces.
another
I
one,
couldn't
another one.
sleep.
Super producers. Oh, I couldn't sleep, so I'm
Actually,
playing 10 pieces
dear
of work.
Syuhada, you didn't see yesterday on your session. Dear Judith made a beautiful piece.
yes, she shared me at the message.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
it was
drawing this just
beautiful.
now.
What?
I was drawing this
I'm not the only
midway.
one. I'm not the only one.
Wow.
funny.
Yeah.
Funny. And I think I really like the way that your group interacted and how you affected one another. Like you saw something that Tox did or Tox said something and then what Elif is doing. And somehow that is the joy of having a group that loves to produce together. And I think that the mentorship gives you that,
Yes.
that support, right? So you don't feel like you are alone. I mean, we do tend to work alone. So
Yeah.
so I really enjoyed watching that, how the group has kind of like rub off on each other. Even the pacing, what Eleanor was saying, some days somebody will come into the group and say, oh, I didn't do anything today. But somebody else has done something. So you have this ebb and flow, and it's
Yeah.
a very beautiful process to watch.
Actually, seeing that and normalizing it so important thing. And when I so many times felt that, uh, oh my God, we are feeling the same way. Maybe we are far from each other. 1,000 miles, but we are the feeling same thing. Or sometimes when we see our upside downs, we can easily normalize it because it's normal. Sometimes we can so harsh to yourself, and what is I really love about Syuhada, oh my god, she is so talented. And she using colors like her personality. She has so much color about her personality, and she's producing so many things. Even for example, when I think I have a problem about something, health or time or anything, I learned with my group, considering what's my problem, seeing different perspective. For example, I always thought I have no time for producing much more thing for me, but I have a cat only. But she has she has so many things. I don't can't. I can say this word, but she need to take care of her family and her business. And even I can't handle with just have a cat. But stress management, really, really different level, dear Shuhada. And she making so many things. Yeah, sometimes I can not make my meal. I just spend time another thing, but she really absolutely living one day maybe 48 hours, not like us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's so true. One of the things that I found is most interesting across the journey is how Shahada would come in, and you were very, as you say, your inner critic was very, very harsh. Oh, I've only done this, and oh, I haven't done this, and I'm not happy with that. And what she hasn't mentioned is, oh, by the way, I'm also doing a commission for a wedding, and I need to produce 200 invitations by this time, and I'm halfway
Yeah.
through them. And I've only been doing it for 8 hours today, and then I've got the boys to do this, and there was a ladybird. Oh, and I've also got to finish this, and oh, while we're talking, I finished this one other piece. I didn't do anything before the class, but halfway through, I finished. Here's one I've done. And you're like, how do you do this? And she's
Absolutely.
still smiling when she's doing it. And she's just, she's produced something under the desk. Oh, what do you think of this? Oh, I don't like it very much. I'm like, it took you
Oh
20
yeah, it
seconds.
was amazing.
How? How do you do
Approximately 5 minutes, dear Dorothy. She just sketching and finish it, and she just showed us. We were like, what? What she's doing? Yeah,
And that bit where when people say that whole you meet people, oh, I didn't have any time, I only did this 5 minutes, and it's like, no, you're lying. You took 12 hours over this. With Shahada, she will come to the class. She will have nothing before the class starts. 15 minutes. Oh, I only did this is 15. She'll let you talk. Oh, I'm gonna spend an hour talking about how I've done half a page and 3 lines. And she's already finished her stuff by 15 minutes in. Oh, I just whipped this up. And I think it's been really interesting just to see how you've actually sometimes gone, oh, actually, you know what? That's pretty good. Or because you were very harsh on yourself, very, oh, I don't like it. I'm not so sure about this. Oh, it's not so good. And we're all standing there like, you did what? And you're looking, going, oh, this is nothing. I'm like, oh, come on, really? What do you mean it's nothing? Oh, I saw this thing and I just painted this enormous canvas with this and gold leaf and all these things. Oh, but I didn't have time. And you're like, oh man. And it's really inspiring because there's sometimes where I think you have so many gifts and your ability to pivot to something new quickly and show something
yeah.
for it and then pivot quickly. And all of the time doing the full-time stuff. Oh, I'm running a workshop, I'm doing invitations, I'm doing a workshop and invitations, and then the kids, and I've got this and that. Oh, and I only managed to do, and you just think, wow, okay, this is good. And in terms of being able to learn from your colleague, again, the fact of being able to go, oh, I don't do enough color, so I'm just going to learn. I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to experiment with this. Just do that
Mm.
thing, And it's like me, I'm having trouble deciding whether I should change color inks, and it's taking me a day or. And she's taken up a whole new artistic direction, 25 minutes, half an hour, a whole day. She's got 2 or 3 pieces. Oh, I don't like any of them, but they're all finished. I'll do this one instead. And you're like, okay. So it was really educational just to actually go, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to craft this thing until it's this absolutely perfect. Say it's taking you 3 months to get one page done. And she's already done 25 pages before the class has started. And you just think, okay, there is something to be learned from this. And I think sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit for the things that you do, the speed at which you do them, and the quality that you put into them. You just go, oh, you're not so happy with it. And we're all standing there going, damn, okay, okay, food for thought. So, there were some of the pieces, again, just the inspiration from seeing, oh, I'm just going to do some acrylic. I'm getting my thing and I'm going to do some acrylic. And you're like, what? Again, out of nowhere, it's competent, it's ready, it's capable, and you don't think much of it, but you're just making lots of stuff. Sorry, Eleanor's going to stop me. I'm going to take out, shorten the
Oh,
sentence, stop talking.
just wanted to mention something which I think we started with at the very beginning of the mentorship. And I really want to reiterate it because I think it's kind of a dangerous area. We should never compare ourselves with other people. And my group, you all know that you all have your strengths. I'm not going to say and weaknesses. I'll just say your strengths and your skills. And everybody has different amounts of experience. I said this on day one. And I think the important two things to take away, one of which is if you learn something and you get better and you have some revelations, that's the important thing. And the other thing is, if you can learn from each other and inspire each other, that's the one thing about being in a group of with other students. But really, really, and this is something, I can tell you, I do the same thing. I look at other people's work and sometimes I don't even want to look at it because it's so good. Terrible, right? And we have to really watch that, because if we can get past that and say, I'm going to let this help me think or help me try something new or accept what I'm doing or create something new, that's what we get from it, not, uh-oh, she's better than I am. I remember telling my parents, way, way back, that there are people who are better than I am. And they would say, oh, no, no one's. And I would say, of course there are. And, as you get better and better, there's always someone who's better. If you want to do that comparison, there's always, a Rembrandt out there or a Picasso or whatever. But if we get a little bit better in a year, sometimes Leonard and I, my husband, who's always will say, oh, I haven't done anything lately. And then I'll say, don't compare it to last month, compare it to last year. Or even, again, from a perspective of being older, even 5 years, what was I doing 5 years ago compared to what I'm doing now? And then you feel that satisfaction. So anyway, that's my, Zen-like advice.
Actually, coming back to something that I think you've said, and Syuhada, and also Dorothy, in terms of curating the groups that come together, one of the things that's been most useful and beneficial is the fact that we're all in very different places and do very different things. So what I'm learning, less direct comparison, like, oh, the way you do that script, I don't do the things that Syuhada or Elif do. So it's almost the ideas are untainted by a direct comparison with what I would be doing. It's more the concept. This is what a pivot looks like from this idea that I was on to something different. And then you go, oh, okay, well, wow. You admire the speed, the pace, and the change of direction at such speed. But because it's not the same thing as you're doing, you don't feel that, oh, I need to look at what I'm doing. It's more, that's a really good idea. How can I apply that to what I'm doing? So that was really, really helpful across all the different meetings, where someone would just take maybe the same challenge. I'm feeling uninspired today. What do you do about it? I did this, I did that. And you think, oh, that's really useful. And the design challenges that we face are different again, because you're doing something different. Same seed of the idea, but a different execution with different problems and therefore different solutions. But the way of arriving at that solution gives you food for thought in how you can approach your own challenges. And so that was, again, working with some really fast-paced, very creative people. It just gives you loads of ammunition for how to challenge or how to approach your own challenges, because you've seen them solve so many different problems at such a high speed. You're like, all right, I've got 10 examples of how a problem was solved in different ways. So it's really, really helpful to be able to work with both of them and with Eleanor to be able to just say, again, it's not comparison, but it's a problem solving exercise. You've got to think, right, what are we going to do? How are we going to get there? What solution can we find? And when you've seen a sort of problem solved once, you go, oh, this is just something you can bear in mind. It might not be this particular piece, but somewhere down the line, you don't run face first into it because you've seen somebody solve it differently. They're great. So thank you, Syuhada.
Thank you.
Relating to what Eleanor was talking about, comparing yourself and getting the emotions when you're looking at other people's work. I think Elif's card with the 2 wolves was just so beautiful. It was an example of our emotions when we get confronted with things, and there's always a battle in there. And there was a question I wanted to ask you, Syuhada. When you were doing the calligraphy on the canvas, what medium were you using?
Sorry, what
medium? What inks? What paints were you using on the canvas?
I'm using the Winston acrylic ink. it have to be acrylic as well. I tried it with gouache. I think probably the consistency is not really well, so that it's bleed.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't stick. But so far with all the acrylic ink, it works very, very well. So yeah, Vincent, you can.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Great question. Great. Well, I think I'm gonna stop the recording. We've come to the end of the hour. Syuhada is heaving a sigh of relief. Great.
Really?